Hey folks, Adam Brian Dada. Was reading on social media today. A lot of people are unhappy about their salary versus so-called cost of living increases. People are under this assumption, and this is human nature, that your salary, your hourly worth, your weekly worth, your monthly worth should of course go up over time. I see this especially true in the film industry, especially among the unions, where they're really unhappy that cost of living has gone up, say 6% this year, which is a crazy high rate of inflation, and they're only going to get a 3% raise. And they're saying that in reality they're getting a 3% wage decrease. And that's not just true in the film industry, not just among the union folks. A lot of folks who get paid hourly or even annual salaries are feeling the same crunch. Basically, they're in a situation where costs are going up and the buying power of their salaries are going down. Rent is going up, gas is going up. And I'm not going to talk about why prices go up. Let's ignore that. Those of you who are libertarians or anarchists or voluntarists know why inflation happens. We're not going to discuss it today. Today we're going to talk about this stupid myth that will never die, where workers believe that they should get paid more every year. End it. A year means nothing. A year doesn't exist. A year is an imagination, a manifestation of people who want to control others. We don't need calendars. We don't need borders. We don't need boundaries. Let's ignore the year. Let's ignore why calendars exist. Probably they exist because of the tax man. Your wage is not intended to go up. The whole point of competition in the world, including your peers and colleagues, including people who work with you or in the same field as you, including people who negotiate for higher salaries with you together, the whole point of competition is to get rid of that position. The whole idea is to make markets more efficient by getting rid of those jobs. That's what competition is. Think about the person who invented the car and got rid of the horse and buggy. The horse and buggy drivers were probably up in arms. Why aren't our wages going up? Well, it's because of efficiencies in the market. Whatever job you're doing, maybe there's 5 of you in the world, maybe there's 500,000 of you in the world. The whole point of your competitors out there, not the ones in your field, but the ones who want to replace your field, is to increase efficiency, maybe in automation, and get rid of your job. That's how markets work. In the film industry that I'm in right now, people are going to go and protest and strike for higher wages because they think that they deserve it. But in reality, in our industry, we're working to get rid of those jobs. Automation is getting rid of a lot of them. In 10 years, I don't think many of those jobs will even exist. Maybe they'll exist on a small scale, but in terms of Hollywood dollars, the people who run Hollywood, they're looking to replace all of that with AI and robots. Every day they're spending more money on replacing you than they're spending on paying you more, because they see the writing is on the wall. Consumers don't care about the crew. They're quickly not caring about acting. Now, we'll never get rid of human actors, of course. But even kids today like animation better than they like real life. You can design animated characters to look like every man, where there's no race or gender or size. There's no beauty or ugliness. We get to the point where the folks who are profiting the most from the creation of entertainment, from what audiences want, these folks are working extra hard to say, why do we even pay for these people to be here? Why do these jobs even exist? So when you say, I want a higher salary, how would you prove that from a scientific point of view? How would you go to the market and say, I deserve more money? Well, it's very simple. It's supply and demand. When you look at your salary this week, this month, this year, and compare it to the previous cycle, are there more people in your field looking for jobs, or are there fewer? In the film industry, there are way more. Way more. You know, 20 years ago, how many production companies there were? I mean, there was NBC, ABC, CBS, HBO, Showtime. Let's say 40 years ago, it was even fewer. You might have had 6 production companies. Today, including all the influencers on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, there are hundreds of millions of productions versus maybe 8 when I was born. Now there's hundreds of millions. So when there are more people willing to do the work, that means wages are pressured down and they go lower. They don't go higher just because inflation says they should. Your wages don't go higher because your rent got more expensive. That's not how it works. And anyone who's demanding higher wages without giving the audience and the market what they want more efficiently, they're not going to get it. And this is important. You actually need some people to run out of money if you want your wages to go up. You want them to run out of money and in desperation quit the field that you're in. This is what you want to happen. Uniting together to protest is a short-lived attack now. It used to work back in the day before automation. It used to work back in the day before you could post on the internet and find 5,000 people willing to fill a job. It used to work. It doesn't work anymore. Automation, instant communication, instantly seeing how markets adapt. These things have made it so you can't just say, pay me more money because I deserve it. Pay me more money because my rent went up. Pay me more money because childcare. No, it doesn't work that way. You know when you say pay me more money? Pay me more money because you can't find anyone else to hire cheaper than me. Pay me more money because I have new skills that I didn't have last week, and those skills will save you time or earn you more money. That's what demands connect to. They don't connect to some moral truth requirement. They don't connect to some poor little me sad face. If you want more money, you need to be adding value to the person paying it. And if you're not adding new value, then your wages won't go up. And one of the realities of markets, which is pretty ugly, is that the people who are worth more and more and more over time aren't just scaling their abilities. They're not just becoming more valuable to employers. The fastest way to earn more money per hour is to be able to quit your job always. Fuck you money, I talk about it a lot. Even if you're a 9-to-5 person making minimum wage, if you're saving the majority of that salary, if you're living at home with mom and dad on the couch for free, and you're saving as much of your minimum wage salary as possible, now you're in a position where you can quit for a week or two while you find another job, or quit for 2 or 3 months while you move to a new city and find another job. And not having a sense of savings puts you in the worst position for asking for more money. When you run out of money and you tell your employer, I don't have any money, we laugh. Oh, good, you don't have any money. Now I can pay you less. Because what are you going to do? Quit? What are you going to do? Leave this job? No, you know what? Instead of paying you $25 an hour, I'm going to pay you $23 an hour. What are you going to do about it? Or you're going to go strike? Ooh, it's not like I can't post on the internet and find 5,000 people to replace you tomorrow. Labor is a weak position. Labor is not a position of strength anymore. You're easily replaced. As you get older, you get slower. As you get older, you become incapable of learning new skills. Labor is a dying position, which is why I tell people every day, if you are in a position where you get paid as a laborer, you should incorporate and become a contractor. You should incorporate and become a consulting business. You should not be known as Jack Johnston, employee. You should be known as JJ Enterprises, come and hire our company. It creates some opaqueness where the employing company doesn't even know who all you might be. They just know that you are a consulting business, a corporation. When you work as a laborer, you're literally telling the market, this is all I have, is to be employed by one employer at a time. There's no competition. There's no negotiating factor. Skills are easy to learn on YouTube. We've become so socially separated between labor and ownership that nobody in the labor sector is telling others among them, hey guys, do we really have what it takes to be worth more money? You can't look at your boss and say, oh my goodness, they're making billions of dollars, I deserve some of that. No, you only deserve more money if you bring more value. Now your boss might be getting a raise because your boss is bringing more value. Part of bringing more value might be that he's lowering your salary. He's bringing more value to investors, bringing more value to shareholders. He might get paid more because he's paying you less. What value are you bringing that's more than yesterday? What's making you more unique than the 5,000 other people who will apply for your job tomorrow if you quit? We need to think. We need to think as income earning individuals, what makes us worth more money to our employers and our audiences tomorrow. Just doing the basics ain't gonna do it. Inflation is going to win over your salary in the long run. You don't get paid more just because another year clicks on the calendar. You don't get paid more just because a bunch of you decide you're gonna go scream at your bosses together with picket signs. Doesn't work that way. What you need to do right now is think about what you're gonna do to be worth more money to the audience, to the employers, to the market tomorrow. What opportunities do you have in your life to be worth more? So that way you could say, hey bosses, or hey competitors to my bosses, here is what I'm going to bring to the table. Here's what I'm gonna do to make your life more efficient. Here's what I'm gonna do to make your life less stressful. Here's what I'm gonna do to make your project more profitable. Here's what I'm gonna do. Not here's what my group of people just like me are gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do to be a better provider for your needs. Your employer is an audience. All employers are an audience. And you're playing for that audience. You gotta bring something new to the table, not just what you did last week. And it doesn't matter that your rent went up, and it doesn't matter that your cost of gasoline went up. None of those things matter. What matters is what value are you bringing that's more than before. And that's what makes you get a raise or move up the ladder. I'm Adam Brian Dada. Thanks for watching.